Here we are, sitting at the Center for Spiritual Living in Temecula Valley, California. And we're online, I do believe. And so we will begin shortly. I don't know about these 3 minutes. Is everyone here yet? Oh my word, this is an interesting day. It is the day the Lord has made. I'm waiting for that wonderful music from Danielle. Is Randy here today?
Randy's here.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah.
What a duo. What a combination. You're great. Great, great, great. Wow. Okay. Just relax. It's going to be a wonderful experience. Yes, I can feel it evolving as I speak. Don't you think, Celia? Oh, Lord. I want to sit cross-legged on the floor. Is that possible?
Do whatever you want.
It's too late, Charlene. I can't do it.
Not true. Not true. I do not affirm that.
Well, you still have a couple minutes before we get started. It's up
And
to
it's
you.
still it's still on.
Yeah, we're still good. We're still running. We're just giving a couple people a couple minutes to get in.
Oh, we're giving you, all you folks that are joining us on Facebook. We're so
Yeah.
happy that we're all here, aren't we? And especially that you can hear it during the week if you have a mind to do that. That's a wonderful thing. I've heard some wonderful meditations from the Center for Spiritual Living out of Denver.
Oh, yeah?
And one out of South Africa. Amazing. Amazing. I just hit upon them. I don't really know how to get them. So am I causing too much irritation in this? There's not a lot of noise on here, right?
You're perfect.
Oh, thank you. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Because we all are, you know, Dawn. We're all perfect. We're all made in the image of God. Whatever we look like, whatever, how big or small or whatever, we're all one. That's a wonderful, freeing knowing, because no one better, no one worse. Different, and that's good. We don't want to all be the same, but we're all equally, in God's eyes, the same. One precious thing.
Ready when you are.
Okay, so good morning to all you people here in the sanctuary at the Center for Spiritual Living in Temecula, California. And good morning to everyone on live Facebook. We're so happy you're here. And to all of you people who'll be watching it during the week if you're lucky enough to find us. So I am Mary Russell, one of the practitioners here at the center, and it is my pleasure to lead this meditation this morning. So the meditation goes anywhere from 18 to 20 minutes, and then there's a short break, and we resume at the top of the hour with our senior minister, the Reverend Dr. Catherine Conwu, and our dynamic music team of Danielle Tucker and Randy MC. And we are so pleased to have all of you here, and them too, and we hope you stay for the entire evolvement of this morning. So welcome. So the meditation begins. Now the meditation, I had it all planned out and written out because that's what I like to do. And of course I've left it home, so we're going to have an interesting morning. My plan was that we would do a contemplative meditation. And contemplation has always been around from the beginning of time. You know, we all slip into that reverie of contemplation and out of it, and don't even recognize it most of the time. But it came into vogue back in the 70s with one Trappist monk by the name of Father Thomas Keating. He was an abbot at the monastery in Spencer, Massachusetts for the first 20 years of his existence, and then he moved to Snowmass, Colorado, where he really developed and concentrated on contemplative meditation. Wonderful man. He died in 2018 at the age of 95 years old, and you can look him up on YouTube. He has wonderful information there and just wonderful meditation, so I encourage you to all look him up. He's just a wonderful man. So, contemplation meditation is really a very simple thing. It's really connecting with God at your level. It's not anything magical or different. Everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. And we all do it off and on throughout the day, though we don't realize it. So in contemplative meditation, the thing it is, we want to go within. So before we begin, I want to invite you to think of a sacred word. What sacred word would you like to come back to when you find the outside world creeping in and your thoughts are going to all the craziness that's happening in the world? What sacred word would you like to do? Would it be love, peace, joy? You pick your sacred word so that you can remind yourself, I want to go back. I want to go back to contemplate on the presence of God within me. Because that's what it's all about, getting back into the knowing that God is right where you are, unfolding in your life. And the more you connect, the better your life is. So we've got the sacred word, and so now we want to sit comfortably in our chairs. We want to close our eyes, because when we close our eyes, we shut out all the external things that are happening, the noises, the lights, whatever it is. We close it out and we go within. That's where we want to be. We want to be within. We want our bodies to be relaxed and comfortable, and our backs straight if possible, for the flow of energy to be perfect. Yeah, we do. We want our minds to be alert, though. We want our minds to be alert so we can feel the presence of God coming into us in our awareness. It's there all the time. We're just waking up to it. So what I'll be doing for the next 5 minutes or so is just reading something out of a book, not anything special, just something that you can either listen to or get into your own centering prayer. It's a wonderful thing because you're in charge. No one can do it for you. You're the boss here. So I invite you to just take a few slow, deep breaths and just relax. Let everything go. Feel your body relaxing. Feel the tension and the hullabaloo that went this morning before you got here, just flowing out your toes into the nothingness from which it came. Just listen to my words and nod, and when you're really ready to go into your meditation, just go there. It's okay. It's all right. Breathe, breathe, breathe. No one can find God for us. Each individual must do that for himself. We cannot find God outside the self because we cannot go outside the self. There is no place where we begin and God leaves off. We can find God only within ourselves. At first we think this seems almost blasphemous, as though one were setting oneself up as God. But such is not the case. One is merely setting oneself up as a center in the consciousness of God. Forever one with God, an incarnation of the universal. The gift is not a man's endeavor, but of life itself. This is the gift made from the foundation of the world, and it is self-evidently true. It does not look as though we could discover God within the self, because we look at ourselves and say, well, look at me. I am poor, I am weak, I am miserable, I am unhappy, I am desolate, I am forlorn. And you tell me that I shall find God in the midst of this chaotic mess? Well, I call myself, it does not look discouraging and take a forlorn hope, but still we must consider this and starting point, for there can be no other place to begin on the road to self-discovery, the discovery that leads back to the original force, gradually as we share the belief in separation from our consciousness. The chaos produced by it the inhibitions and inner turmoil, we emerge on the other side of this chaotic mass and find that heaven was waiting there all the time. Nothing had happened to it. It is the experience of the prodigal of old. The Father's house was still where it always had been. But just wishing, hoping, or longing will not bring about this self-discovery. There must be a persistent and painstaking attempt to separate everything from us that does not belong to spiritual man. It might be well to use an illustration here. Suppose we find no peace of mind, no contentment, and no security, are confused and consequently beset with anxiety and uncertainty. And the feeling that the times are out of joint. How shall we proceed? First of all, we shall have at least a sound mental equivalent and psychological basis for a new conviction. How did we get here anyway? We know very well we did not put ourselves here. Nothing is more certain than that man never created himself. He merely awakes to self-discovery. Wow. Therefore, we detach all confusion from the mind by identifying ourselves with the Spirit. God is not poor, not weak, not unhappy. God is not frustrated. God is not in lack. And what is true about God is true about us. Therefore, there is no unhappiness to the real self. There is no insecurity to the spiritual ego. There is no frustration in the mind of God within us. Logic and reason conspire to show us that this must be true, no matter what the appearances may be. To the contrary, there is still a spiritual center. Standeth God within the shadows, keeping watch upon his own. We too must keep watch, uprooting a false thought here and another over there, until finally, in both intellect and feeling, we reach back to the center and divine presence within us. For that is what you are. Reach back, reach way back to the divine presence within you. Others may show us how they did this. They may even suggest how we can proceed. But there is a path that every man must walk alone. Yet not alone, because forevermore there is a spirit that beckons, a presence that feels out towards us as we feel towards it. That's it. Turning to God, and God turns to us. Someday we will all rest in its warm embrace. Remember, if you get lost in the human side of you, the noise in the room and the thoughts that come, just let them go by. Just let them go by. They have no meaning. They have no authority over you. Just remember your sacred word. Yes, the discovery of the self is to the self and by the self. There is no delaying, no use waiting for someone to come along or someone who can do this for us, for no such person exists. That is why Jesus told his followers that it was expedient that he go away in order that the Spirit of truth might reveal to them the meaning of everything he had taught them. My sacred word is joy, and I relish in the delight of knowing God within me is alive and well. So we are in charge and responsible for ourselves. We should not wish it otherwise. For if someone else had the key to our palace, how should we enter? If someone else had to live for us, we could never live for ourselves. The great and long and meaningful secret of life is bound up in this self-discovery. And the most fortunate moment in our lives will be that moment when we come to realize that we must take ourselves for better or for worse, starting right where we are, and discover and disregard time or effort, counting as gain only that which conspires to awaken us to the ultimate reality. We shall travel back to the center and the source. But there should be no morbid outlook on this. For why need we encounter more unhappiness? Why not think of the opportunities as one filled with peace and fraught with opportunities? Once we are sure there is a goal to reach and the Spirit is directing us, we can be certain that we shall one day arrive, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow. But is not each step on the road one step closer to reaching the source? Let us all then accept the simple fact that the road to God is through the self, and that the pathway to an ever-increasing experience can be filled with joy. We can sing as we go along, and why need we deny ourselves the privilege of immediate union, for all the things tomorrow will be but continuations of the shorts today? Why not find life here and now? Take a nice deep breath now. Feel yourself sitting in this chair, right here in the sanctuary, or at home, or wherever you happen to be, and know that God is right where you are, living through you. And again, I want to remind you that this meditation is over, but we do have a short break, and we resume at the top of the hour for our service with the Reverend Dr. Catherine Economou and our dynamic music team of Danielle Tucker and Randy MC, and we hope you will all be here.